Hello, my name is Christina Hippisley from the Portuguese Chamber of Commerce in the UK. Today I'm here at the beautiful Adamastor restaurant on Praia de Parede, just outside Lisbon, and I'm joined by one of our Chamber corporate members, James Muscat from moviinn. moviinn is one of Portugal's premier relocation and immigration agencies. So James, tell me, what are the biggest lifestyle differences between UK and Portugal?
Well, I guess to start off with, the sea and the sun provides a whole array of different outdoor activities that people can do throughout the year. And I would say that family is a big one. So there's a lot of time that's made up there, a lot of space, a lot of time for family events and family activities.
Portugal is often praised for being very family friendly. What should families know about raising children here?
We get more and more people from all around the world choosing Portugal for that exact reason. I think that safety and security has a lot to do with that. Another one is family and community. Those values are evident in Portuguese society and people recognize those. I think that's another big one. We're seeing a lot more international schools. I know between Lisbon we have more than 44 international schools. So this is just showing this growing trend. So education and diversity in education, that offering has complemented this.
How does the schooling system work in Portugal? Are there good international schools?
Yes, we have excellent international schools. We can, whether it's the French system, British system, or the American system. And we also have an excellent Portuguese education system where we have both public and private schools. So in terms of international schools, we have more than 44 international schools in Portugal, the growing number of international schools in Porto. But an interesting tendency that we've also seen is there are more and more expats that are deciding to also take their kids into public and private Portuguese schools as well. Some are bilingual, some aren't, but that's a growing trend as well.
What about healthcare and family support services? How do they work here in Portugal?
Well, with regards to healthcare, this all starts when people are applying for their visas to come over. Once they are here, they do have their residency permits here. We're able to apply for their national health service number, so the NHS, the Portuguese SNS, and they have access to the general public service, whether it's clinics or hospitals, vaccine programs, and so forth. In most cases, I would say in 90% of the cases of our clients, they also have private health insurance as well. In terms of private health insurance and the private sector, it's something which has been growing over time, and it is world class. We have amazing hospitals, clinics, and these, health insurance here in Portugal varies between, let's say, 40 and maybe 70, 80 euros, and you have access to a whole network of private health services as well. Furthermore, in terms of the private health network in Portugal, it's world class. It is growing as well, and it's something where 90% of our clients also do end up adopting as well. And we're looking at maybe a cost of between 40 to 80 euros per month for that, but they do have access to private health clinics and amazing hospitals all across the country.
And how easy is it for expatriate families to integrate into the Portuguese way of life?
That's a great question. You have those that are here eager to jump into it, learn the language, and integrate as quickly as possible. Unfortunately or fortunately, Portuguese do speak English. That does make it a lot easier to put that off for longer and longer. I think that does work as an obstacle in terms of fully integrating. But if you ask me about, integrating into the expat community and getting on with day-to-day life, it does make it much easier and allows people to hit the ground running. But we always do promote that people do learn Portuguese. I mean, those that have kids definitely have the opportunity to meet other family and their parents, and through that, even in international schools, we do have Portuguese kids there as well. Those that are obviously in Portuguese private or public, I mean, that's just a no-brainer.
Let's talk about business. So for entrepreneurs moving here to set up a business or buy a business, what are the advantages of setting up a business in Portugal?
There are multiple advantages at this point in time. I guess one big one that we have, many people knew what was the old NHR. Nowadays, that's been transformed into what we call the IFIC. So that certification and the tax incentives involved there is very much based on the company. So it's all about those companies that are coming here to Portugal, setting up here in Portugal, and contributing to productivity and talent creation here in Portugal and innovation can benefit from that tax incentive. Besides that, there's other incentives such as CFID as well as another one for research and development and innovation. Besides that, we also have the Portugal 2030 program. So there are a number of different sectors there that can benefit from state and European funding. And besides that, within the startup ecosystem as well, we're seeing a number of different incentives that are coming through to attract foreign startups, scale-ups and international corps and set up here in Portugal.
What are the most dynamic sectors in business here in Portugal today?
Well, when we talk about startups and scale-ups or tech and innovation, I would definitely say some of the key verticals that we have is biotech, health tech. We're also looking at clean tech, so in here around sustainability and renewables, or planet tech, as some people would like to dub it. Blue tech in terms of working with the ocean. We are surrounded by the ocean. We're seeing more and more government policies going in, which are helping this sector, whether it's this or the Algarve or further afar. Industry, our traditional industry has gone through quite a transformation in terms of the textile industry. Portugal is seen to be a hub for haute couture and high quality textile manufacturing, and also in terms of shoes. The shoe manufacturing business in Portugal is once again alive and thriving. Tourism is obviously a big one, and other sectors. I think web and AI, blockchain and crypto. We do have some favorable crypto policies out there, and this push for more AI and Web3 is another big one.
What are the first steps families and entrepreneurs can take when they first decide to move to Portugal?
I think the first thing that they should do when they've made the decision that they're ready to move is to really get a good understanding of, understand the visas, understand the immigration well, in order to avoid any unnecessary mistakes and delays. Understanding what the tax implications are. Doing this beforehand can have a major impact further down the road. In terms of where to live, I think that's a really important one. Some people are eager to buy a place or to jump into a place. We always do recommend that people spend maybe a few months, 3 months in one place, give themselves the time to then look here on the ground, and even then go for a 1-year lease to give them some real time to really understand what suits their family and their needs the most. I think those are some really important tips.
These days, Portugal is no longer a destination for retirees from the UK. It is now also a destination for families and entrepreneurs. But retirees continues to be a big area, and I know many of your clients are thinking of retiring perhaps after a big sale of a business or they're winding down. Tell us, what are the benefits for retirees to come to Portugal?
Well, I think that retirees, as you said, they do continue to see Portugal as a destination where they can, soak up the sea and the sun. They can live a much more relaxed lifestyle. It's true that, Portugal isn't as cheap or affordable as it used to be in the past, but it's still much more affordable than many destinations in Western Europe. And it is the lifestyle. I think what's grown in Portugal and has contributed to its popularity has been it's more cosmopolitan. There's more on offer, and it's much more international. So that has created another level of entertainment, of offering overall.
Let's take an example of a typical British individual or family moving to Portugal. If they're retiring to Portugal, what visa would you recommend they look for?
So in terms of retirement to Portugal, that would definitely be the D7. It's literally the own income visa, meaning that one is basing their requests for immigration on passive income. So that might be pensions, or that might be investment portfolios. So we do have that for retirees and others that are maybe pre-retirees but are no longer actively working and are living off passive income.
And what visa would an individual looking to set up a business apply for in Portugal?
Well, in this case here, it depends a little bit on the type of business. So, for example, we do have the startup visa, which allows one, even at an idea stage, to be able to apply for that particular visa route. It does involve some association with incubators and a business plan and so forth. The other we have is also the D2 visa. So the D2 under the entrepreneur visa, which requires the incorporation of a company and the presentation of a business plan as well. So yeah, in both cases, those are the two visa routes which are very much focused in terms of incorporating a company.
For those British citizens who don't wish to spend 183 days or more than 183 days every year in Portugal, there is the option of the so-called golden visa, isn't there? Tell us the benefits or the basic points about the golden visa and how it works.
Well, I guess, yeah, the golden visa, also known as the citizenship by investment program, allows for people to take up residency in Portugal without having to spend 183 days. They only need to spend, on average, 7 days per year. As a counterbalance, as we may say, an investment is required. In the past, there was real estate that has been taken off the table now as of October 2023. Nowadays, we have the investment of funds, whether it's private equity, open markets, or venture capital funds, donations to certified foundations by the Ministry of Culture, and then we also have the job creation category, where one is investing into a Portuguese company here in Portugal as well.
What are the most common mistakes people make when they're relocating to Portugal?
I think rushing into things, not seeking that customized or that personalized advice. I think that's a really important one. People tend to pick and choose things from Facebook which aren't necessarily relevant to them. I think that can be dangerous sometimes, whether it's tax, whether it's immigration. So being able to sort of take your time in informing yourself with professionals and making a decision which is based on that information is a key that some people don't do, and then it can be too late.
Since you've worked with so many families who've relocated to Portugal in the last 5 or 10 years, what is the most rewarding part of your job?
That's an easy one. That's what keeps me going day after day. I think that the big thing here is that helping people at this critical moment, providing them with that, detailed, customized advice to make an informed decision, and helping them through that process, which can sometimes be stressful and full of anxiety. And once they get here, helping them truly integrate. I think seeing that transformation in people, making friends, integrating into community, learning the language, and all the experiences that comes with that, that's the most rewarding for me.
If you were advising a family with children who wanted to live in the Lisbon area, they said they wanted to live in the Lisbon area, where would you recommend that they live?
I mean, there are definitely pockets in Lisbon itself, like Avenidas Novas and Campo de Rique, Alvalade, sort of little islands within the city. But definitely Oeiras and Cascais do offer quality of life for families looking to set up in Portugal, whether it's access to international schools or extracurricular activities, and just a calmer lifestyle for families.
After so many years living here and having talked to so many families about what they love about Portugal, what is your favourite place in Portugal?
I would say, I have many favorite places. I think this has changed. I've been around for nearly 24 years now. I'm loving Lisbon today in terms of the cultural diversity, the cosmopolitanism, and the general offering and food scene and all that. It's quite exciting, the startup ecosystem. If I were to choose a place for my parents to move from Australia to here and retire, it would either be Madeira or Tavira in the Algarve. I love those places, very relaxed places, up and coming places, and just an overall sort of very, relaxed lifestyle.
Sadly, you're many years off retirement, but where might you retire to?
Madeira and Tavira are definitely two options. I do really enjoy those places, and I when I am there, I sort of feel the pace, and I feel that okay, this is a place where I could really retire.
Cheers, James.
Cheers.
Here's to Portugal.
Here's to Portugal. It's good seeing you.
Ciao, ciao.
Okay.